Okay, I am super excited. And have you ever had that moment where like you figured out how to do something and you like you've got to like talk about it, record it, document it like expeditiously. So that's where we're at right now. Okay, I figured out how to do some stuff and I'm going to show you how to do it too. Okay, so here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to record my videos in a way where I'm the main thing on the screen, and then I could be using my iPad as I'm recording, and the iPad be on the screen. What you see here is like how traditional screen recordings look, right? The screen being recorded is typically the main thing, and then we're like the little bubble, right? But I want the opposite. So I figured out how to do this. I was looking into using Ecamm, but here's the thing. Ecamm's cool. I don't really do a lot of live streaming, and on top of that, it doesn't have a native like editing anything. So I did test Ecamm. I did a trial with them just so I could like get a feel for the interface, how it worked. And it's like, okay, so they have an option to export to Descript. And I'm like, oh, not helpful. Okay. So I didn't want to pay an extra $20 a month just to record the way that I want to record. I feel like I was going to be able to do this in Descript, and I did figure it out. So I'm going to show you how to do this, okay? Okay, so first things first. For whatever reason, you cannot connect your iPad to Descript so that you can share the screen that way. Super annoying, don't know why. It just is what it is. So our workaround is we're going to actually use QuickTime. So let me see. I might not be able to pull this up because I'm recording right now. But if you go into QuickTime, let's just see, and then File, New Movie Recording, come down to this drop down. Now, my iPad is connected to my computer, like with an actual cord. Okay, so make sure you do that. Let's see if this works. Okay, so you can see now. Listen, when I tell you, I was just like, kind of just talk about anything for a minute. This is what we came up with, okay? Nonetheless, boom. So now the iPad is connected to the computer. We have it in QuickTime. It's pulled up. So then when you go into Descript, okay, you're going to be able to go into Descript. And then when you go to do your screen recording, for your screen, you're going to choose QuickTime. This is how this is going to work, okay? This is how I was able to get this. Now, once you've done your recording and whatnot, this is what it'll look like. We want it to look, again, the opposite. So what we're going to do is I'm gonna, and let me explain to you why this has been an issue, just so that we're clear, because I didn't dive into this. When you do your screen recording, you get this one main timeline, right? This encompasses both me and the screen recording. So when I'm doing my editing, whatever it applies to both. It makes it so easy, so seamless. But in order for me to have the video look the way that I wanted it to look, before I would have had to like delete this and come over here into projects and then your files. So they give you the timeline that's like both you and the screen recording, but then they also give you them separately. So then I would have had to then put me on here on the timeline and then layer this. And then as I'm editing, I would have to like edit both timelines separately, which is tedious, right? It's just tedious. And so I didn't want to have to do that. I'm like, there has to be an easier way. There has to be an easier way. I done figured it out. Okay. So now that you know why this was a big deal for me. Okay. So we're going to choose the screen recording. We're going to go to position, and then you could choose literally either one of these. It doesn't even matter. But I'm just going to choose bottom right. So then we have this black background. We don't want that. We want us. So then I select me, go to position, fit scene editor. Blah. Okay, but where did the screen recording go? I got you. Click out of that for whatever reason. When you're clicked in, you see how those options are gone. So you just want to kind of just click off to the side or something, and now they're back. Okay, boom. So this little thing here, layers, we're going to go in here. Okay, and then I'm going to take me, because it says script Kiana, script screen, so they're labeled. I'm going to drag me down here. Blah. So now our screen recording is right here. Okay, cool. But it's circular. So we're just going to click that. I'm going to come in here to shapes, and then I'm going to choose square. Okay, we're getting somewhere. You see that? And then we can kind of just modify. So I'm just going to like drag this out a bit. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to drag this out. And if I want to get a little fancy, pantsy, smancies, I can come over here to elements. I can scroll all the way down to frames, show all, and then iPad frame. Then while that's selected, you just want to rotate it one time. And then you can go ahead and start kind of just modifying that. We could drag that over here. And then we could place this like here. You could play with that, okay? You get the point. You get the point. The point being is we did it. This was what I wanted it to look like, okay? They didn't make this easy for me to do, but I figured it out. Your girl figured it out. So if you're someone who's like, okay, you know, you want to present, you want to have like, instead of just like traditional B-roll and motion graphics, not everybody's fucking doing motion graphics because of AI. And it's like, okay, how do we give that like down to earth, you know what I'm saying, feel with our videos without it being like, for me, what other people do is for them, and that's that, okay? But for me, I just had a certain feel. And I just want you to feel like you with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you with your good girlfriend or something. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to do whatever. Okay? I'm also going to say this because I forgot to mention this. When it comes to these separate timeline item things that Descript gives you, you cannot group them and then lock them. If it could do that, that would be phenomenal. But it doesn't. It doesn't for whatever reason. Again, I don't know. But you can't. So it would make editing so much easier because then it's like when you're making the edits, it would apply to everything in that group the same way that essentially the original timeline does. So even if I come in here, I'm just going to pick like a random spot and I go like that, blah, that. Let's just ignore that, right? I could do that very simply and we can to grow. Yeah, see, so it's like the edit, I just made one edit, but it applied to both things. That's why I really wanted to learn how to do this, okay? But I figured it out, and hopefully this helps you. Let me know if anything that I said was unclear, honey. And if you actually want to know more about editing your videos in a very easy way so that you can get them out and not be spending countless hours trying to edit your videos, you need to come join us inside of the Magnetic Visibility Circle Premium. You'll get access to my course called the Edits Lab, where I am teaching you literally the simplest, easiest ways to create YouTube videos that are still engaging but don't take you countless hours to create. I'm going to see you inside of the community.